Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Good Screen Podcast, episode 44. I'm Russell.
You sound like the food reviews guy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Running on Empty Food Review.
Yeah.
Like that guy?
Yeah, you sound just like him.
Episode 44 of the Good Screen Podcast.
So was I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Russell.
I'm Lauren.
We already said that.
No, we didn't.
I did. I said
didn't.
I'm Russell.
I didn't. I'm Lauren.
And we are excited to be back on a new schedule, sort of, kind of, maybe.
The schedule is whenever we can.
Yeah, I'm saying
That's the schedule now.
I'm saying we're switching to Friday uploads.
We're switching to whenever we can.
Okay. YouTube will love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have a lot to talk about. We haven't been able to sit down and record for a while.
We have like 5,000 things to talk about.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Can I start this time? Because it kind of leads into your thing. Your good screen. Can you say it to me? Can you say the words to me?
Oh, what have you been watching on the good screen, Russell?
I have still been playing Zelda.
Okay.
I've been making my part-time job getting all the shrines.
Yeah, you've been clocking in.
I have been clocking in.
I'm eagerly awaiting for you to finish the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so I know what happens.
Me too. And I tried the Final Fantasy 16 demo.
Yeah.
And I thought it was okay.
Yeah, you were telling me about that yesterday on the way home from Spiderman.
Yeah, I'll get into that.
Yeah.
Everyone is hooting and hollering about this game
Hootin'?
now.
Hollering!
Shh.
Hootin'!
That's gonna be awful. You're going crazy. Anyway, everybody is making such a big fuss about it, and I was like, okay, I'll try out the game. Full disclosure, I don't like Game of Thrones that much.
Yeah, I liked the first 5 seasons.
And I was getting some vibes from this game.
Yeah.
It felt like everything Final Fantasy felt super out of place.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just kind of it was really brutal, and it's definitely like an M-rated game.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are the other Final Fantasies?
No. It just feels like in my whatever, my gamer rage or whatever. I think they went a little bit too far into I was talking to John about it. I'm like, it feels like they just used Game of Thrones as market research to make the a medieval Final Fantasy again. And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what they did." So I was like, "Oh great." So I'm not gonna like this game.
So it really is. He really is Jon Snow.
Yeah, he pretty much is.
Oh.
So let me just spoil the whole demo. I mean, the demo's free on PlayStation.
Who cares?
5. Yeah. So
I don't think anyone that listens to this is gonna play it.
Probably not. No. So for a Final Fantasy game, it starts with, I think, 3. There are 3 big character deaths
in the first 2
in the
seconds?
first 2 hours of this game.
Oh, that's too many.
That's
discouraging.
A chocobo gets slaughtered.
No.
Yeah, it just felt really. And another one got a rock hit off its head.
A chocobo?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And then right after the chocobo got stabbed, the dad gets beheaded.
You can't play this game.
Yeah. So
this is where's PETA?
It just felt a little too much, and they're like, oh, and everyone's saying oh, this is where they wanted the series to go, and I'm like, I don't really think so. I mean,
no.
It just the part of the fun.
It was like a family name.
Not really.
Game.
No, it was it's one of those comfort food things where oh, okay, this is gonna be a weird quirky story with
it's a
maybe
game that, your dad would have played.
Yeah, the older ones.
Yeah.
But it just feels like it's a little too much. Final Fantasy does have moments that are whoa, somebody died, but not right away. There was no build up.
Not a fucking chocobo.
No, yeah. No, and the dad gets beheaded. The little boy,
just like Ned Stark.
Yeah, exactly. The little boy gets pummeled and killed by the dude you play as because he turns into his big monster and they have a battle. And like
Okay.
he like rips them apart. Like he's a
Ugh.
phoenix, and he like rips the phoenix apart. It's really weird.
Well, that
It
means
just
he'll
felt
come
like
back, though, right?
too. I guess it's a phoenix, but he was reborn in the battle, so I don't know.
Oh.
It just felt like it was a little too much and over. Like I don't want to say like pornographic, but like it felt like this is like a big like, yeah, this is what you guys want, right? It feels like this game could have came out in like the Gears of War times, and people would have been like, "Is this the future for Final Fantasy?" They would have completely had a different opinion about it. But like, I didn't really like it that much. The combat was fun, but again, like it felt like I was playing Devil May Cry or even Ys. It felt like I was playing Ys combat.
I think that's who I thought he looked like. Devil May Cry, but with black hair.
Right?
Yeah, because
Like Shadow the
I still
Hedgehog
can't
guy.
quite put my finger on what
Yeah.
the fucker looks like.
I was talking to Lauren about it when we were driving home yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and she asked me if Sephiroth was in the game, and I said no.
And I was deeply upset.
And she asked if like Cloud and Tifa were in the game, and I said no, they're not in any of the
They're
games
only in
but
7.
7. So she was like, I'm gonna go ahead and just play Final Fantasy 7. Why would I want to play
Yeah.
any of these other games?
For real.
So you started playing
Final
Fantasy 7. So you
the
go
original
ahead.
one. Okay,
Yeah,
so
the original one on PlayStation. Well, you're playing the PS4 version. But
yeah, so that all happened exactly as he said it. And so we got home, and I was only kind of half joking in the car, but then like I got home and actually started doing it. And I like it so far. I've gotten farther than Russell's ever gotten, which is like
I've hardly ever played
an
the
hour
game.
and a half in.
Yeah, it's like one of those like I got to do it eventually sort of things.
Yeah, and this game is like how it's either this or Ocarina of Time. Russell said, is that people lose their gaming virginity.
People my age.
People who are like 6 years older than me, how they lost their gaming virginity.
Yeah, either you had Ocarina of Time or you had Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah,
Or you were weird and you had a game with an anthropomorphic animal character.
like Jax.
Like Crash or Spyro or Sonic.
I mean, I played Spyro as a kid, but I never had any like gamer awakening. Even
Yeah.
now, Atelier is probably the closest thing that I've gotten. It's just because I really like the mechanics and the stupid little stories. Yeah, so this is my first like actual gamer game I'll be playing. Assuming I continue to play it, which I'd like to. It would be an easy way to kill like Steam after I get home from work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's when I plan on playing it the most, so that during the daytime I can do sewing or whatever, and in the evening, or it's not even evening, it's like midnight when I get home from work.
The dead of night.
Yeah, the late night.
Then nothing is better than playing like a turn-based role-playing game at night.
At midnight, yeah.
It feels weird playing them in the morning, like when I wake up early and just play games for like a few hours before you get up.
Mm-hmm.
But at night it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
And I am playing the original, quote-unquote, version.
The slightly...
Quote-unquote on the original part.
Yeah, it's the original. It's not the remake.
Yeah. It's not the remake that I guess is being split into 3 different parts. Although I do want to play that one.
You got to earn that one.
I have to earn the right to play it. And I don't know anything about the story. I only know what the characters are. So Russell was really surprised that
I was
didn't
like,
know
wow, you don't know the big thing.
what the big thing is.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is like, I don't know. I asked him if Cloud is Sephiroth's son, and he said no. And I said, like, does Sephiroth kiss Tifa? And he said no. So I can't think of anything else that would happen.
I don't know either. Please, nobody ruin this in the comments section.
Well, I don't read the comments, so even if they did,
yeah, I'll delete the comment.
just don't read me that comment.
I'll fight for you.
Yeah, don't say anything about it in our Discord channel either, or you will be permabanned.
It is so impressive that, like,
I don't know
in
anything.
my eyes,
I only know who the characters are.
that you don't know, like, the big thing. I had the big thing ruined for me on TV.
On TV?
On TV, on G4, they were having a Final Fantasy, like,
episode
for, like, a retrospective.
And they just totally spoiled it?
Yeah, they were doing, like,
Well,
top
that's
fives, and they were, like, top 5 plot twists in Final Fantasy, or big plot moments in Final Fantasy
You're
games.
sure Cloud isn't Sephiroth's son?
No, it wasn't. He's not Sephiroth's son. And I had to watch this, like, early CG rendered cutscene of, like, something honestly horrifying happening out of nowhere in this game. And, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can probably find the video of, like, a replay of it on YouTube, but, like,
Don't show me.
I'm not going to show you it, obviously, but
yeah,
that was like the first spoiler that was ever ruined for me, and it was a big one. And everybody knows what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me, please.
I can.
I've had everything I've ever tried to get into spoiled for me, like, as soon as I got into it. When I was in fucking, like, early high school and started watching Grey's Anatomy just because everyone was watching Grey's Anatomy.
They spoiled it for you?
I was, like, not even through the end of the first season, and someone was like, oh, did you get to the part where this big important character dies?
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm gonna murder you in the bathroom between third and fourth period.
Oh my
like,
God.
shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
everything I've ever tried to get into has always been spoiled for me, or I just happened to come across spoilers before I got into it, so I didn't find it worth getting into. You know what I mean?
I feel like this is something like you might have like incidentally seen online, but maybe not.
I don't follow any major gaming things online.
Yeah.
I just look at memes.
Man,
and
that must be great.
funny things
That
online.
must be amazing. People have not been shutting the fuck up about the Xbox
forums...
thing this week.
Oh, I mean, it was really good though.
It was good.
Should we get into that now?
Yeah, we can. I guess we can talk about that for a little bit.
Okay, so this, I guess, is another combined good screen. We had the opportunity to go see it in a theater. We got reservations for tickets, but the day before we did what we're going to talk about in our screenless shout-out portion, so we were really exhausted.
It was super exhausted.
We didn't want to drive all the way to Philly.
Yeah, and we almost filmed a podcast that night, but I think I was just tired.
We were so tired.
And we didn't see the movie that we saw last night, and we were like, well, let's just like combine it.
Yeah.
So we watched the Xbox showcase at home with my friend John, our friend John, I guess.
Yeah. It was amazing.
It was really good. Like
it was like non-stop trailers. There was no like little intervals to talk about bullshit or.
Yeah, you fell asleep, but you were just tired.
I fell asleep during the
Starfield thing.
The Starfield thing.
Yeah.
Because I was so exhausted from the day before still, and
I was like,
I definitely fell asleep. I don't know if John noticed if I fell asleep or not.
Yeah.
But John, if you're listening.
I don't think John listens to it.
Oh, well, then never mind. I don't care. I totally passed out on her couch for like 20 minutes, and then I was like, I'm going to go sleep in my actual bed now. Goodbye.
So, the Xbox Direct was really good. The showcase was good. I think it's
the best one I've seen in a while.
Yeah, they didn't show Halo, and they didn't show Gears of War, but they showed something Halo related. There was an extended version of it. They showed the season of the next season of Halo. So, other than that, like there were a lot of new things to look forward to. I was kind of like at first I was like, so now I have to wait until 2024. Like it's just that seems to be like the thing with Xbox. Like they always like keep you like waiting for something. And I think this year there's going to be a lot of stuff that actually comes out. Like last year, nothing came out for Xbox.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
The only thing that came out was Pentiment, which was good.
Yeah.
But like nothing else came out that whole year because it was like Starfield was supposed to come out in the fall. Mm-hmm. And it was delayed.
I'm kind of glad it got delayed though. It looks very in depth.
It looks really good.
It was probably
they needed
worth
more
the
time.
delay.
And it was a good presentation. There's new stuff coming out, like new series and stuff like that.
Yeah. Should I pull up like a lineup or something so we can reference?
Everyone knows.
Oh, okay.
Will wasn't super convinced, and he actually stopped by today to give me, or I paid for it, but like his SSD and his headset for the Xbox.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a second wind for me coming as the Xbox guy.
I think you need no.
What if I play Final Fantasy VII on it?
Modernity, embrace tradition. We're a PlayStation household.
No.
Yes.
But it's right
also,
there.
We haven't touched the Xbox in like 6 months since we got the PlayStation.
I know, because you unplugged it.
Because...
All right, we're getting divorced.
Not even married. We're already getting divorced.
We're getting divorced.
I'm taking the PlayStation with me.
The Xbox is mine.
Okay, that's fine. You can have the Xbox and the divorce. I'll have the PlayStation. That'll be at the top of our list for our lawyers.
So we already have a prenup set up for a marriage that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
You were just talking about how the Direct was really good, how the showcase was really good, and you're like, we aren't.
That doesn't mean that I
like
like the console. I was impressed by the presentation, but that didn't impress me enough to sway me to going back to being on the Xbox all the time. The only thing I miss about the Xbox, which we talked about the other day, 1, the fact that it has Discovery Plus. And then 2, the fact that you can cast to it.
And it's a lot easier to get to stuff.
What?
It's easier to get to, like, the menu is like no bullshit.
Stuff.
It's get to stuff, yeah.
I mean,
like,
I don't think the PlayStation 1 is that weird.
It's too much.
I don't really use it that much except to go
flashy.
to YouTube and whatever game I'm playing.
All right, whatever. I'm feeling my second wind of Xbox coming.
We have more PlayStation consoles than we do Xbox consoles, don't we?
Yeah. Well, we have 2 Xboxes technically right now.
I guess.
Because we have the One X. But all right, Lauren, I'll come back next week with an Xbox game to talk about.
Okay. Good luck.
For sure.
I don't know what's HDMI port you're going to put it into because it's not the PlayStation one.
I'm going to put it at my desk or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
On my 1080p monitor.
Where are you going to put it on your desk?
Somewhere.
Put it on top of the fridge.
It's not flat.
It'll be like a hat.
Oh,
I
that
closed
scared
the vent.
me.
I don't think it's gonna pick up.
So I thought the developer direct for Xbox was good, and
I agree.
Apparently, a lot of other people did too because console sales went way up after it.
Probably because people were just waiting for.
Because they want to play Starfield, and then,
also the consoles are more readily available now too.
Yeah, but if you don't have a PC, the only place you can play Starfield is the Xbox.
I feel like it'd be easier or better to play it on PC.
Yeah, you can probably put it a higher frame rate because they're making the Xbox versions only run at 30, which I do not give a shit about. I've been playing Zelda.
I'm not playing a game if it doesn't have more than 60 frames per second.
I don't care about that.
I say as I play the 1990 whatever version.
I think that version is upscaled to 60, but the original
doesn't feel like it.
The original, the battles were 12 FPS, and the menu on the bottom was 60, and the battle thing was 12 FPS or something.
That's
I might be
weird.
wrong on that. I know it was a weird resolution thing, but that's the only way they could make that work.
I think I just really am charmed by old graphics. I really liked Rarona's graphics.
Yeah.
And I really like these funky polygonal graphics. I really like the pre-rendered cutscenes.
I really hope
they make me giggle.
I hope that the Trails in the Sky games come out on a console in the future, because you would love
pixel?
those. They're pixel, but they kind of Trails in the Sky. When I first played it, I was like, "This is the best PlayStation 1 game I've ever played." That came out.
PlayStation 1?
It came out in 2004 for PC though.
Oh shit!
So I was like, "This
what
is
the fuck kind of PC
this."
were
It
people
would have
using
fit right
2004?
into the PlayStation 1 era, but it was much later. Came out in 2004 in Japan, and then in 2011 on the PSP in America. That's how long. Because they didn't bring everything over then.
They're still
all the time
struggling to bring stuff over.
Yeah, I mean they're just now almost caught up.
Do you want to know my
Falcom?
Can I change the subject?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, what was your favorite game announced?
My favorite game announced or shown?
I guess both.
My favorite game announced was the Sea of Thieves event
Monkey Island.
with the Monkey Island.
Yeah.
We should sit down and play that game, at least the first 2, and you will love it. It's so funny.
I just don't think I can play the Sea of Thieves part.
Oh, because of it
makes me motion sick.
I think they have accessibility options to turn stuff off. You would think they would, right?
I mean, I never found it.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up and we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
All right. What was your favorite thing?
Like a Dragon.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
That might have been my favorite thing, too. The Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Did you see the thread that I sent you? They zeroed it down to the exact beach he was on in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I said California, so I was really close.
Sure.
I was close.
Yeah, you were close. I mean, I was thinking it was somewhere on the West Coast, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, that was really good. That's going to come out next year, I guess.
I think so.
Well, there was a lot of next year stuff.
I guess I'll watch you play that one because I watched you play Like a Dragon.
I actually recorded something, kind of as a joke about, what I'm excited for that was announced at the Summer Games thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to put it anywhere. Because I didn't think you wanted to talk about this. So I was like, I'll record something solo.
Oh, I mean, there's not really anything else I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Fable looked cool.
Yeah, it did.
That's the only game I can remember off the top of my head that was even a presentation.
Fable,
I was so tired.
Yeah, Fable was good. Starfield was really good too. It was just a shame that there was nothing like even remotely close to Halo or Gears of War.
Mm-hmm.
And they said there was like a collection of games coming, but like that didn't really happen.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon, I think the merger is going to go through for Xbox, for
What are
Microsoft,
they?
and but they're buying Activision Blizzard.
Yeah,
Then
they
I
are.
can buy Diablo 4 and not feel bad.
Russell, that's like saying you can buy Mein Kampf because you don't feel bad because now Adolf Hitler's,
Now Hitler's
dead.
dead. Well, yeah. I mean, you just read it. A lot of people have that book.
I guess. I think
You
it's
put it right
weird.
next to the Diary of Anne Frank on the bookshelf.
No!
That's called history, Lauren.
Oh my god.
We live in a... No, we don't live in a society. We live in a multicultural world. Like, you got to read up on the greats.
Did you know that Anne Frank and
I'm not saying Hitler was a good person.
Did you know Anne Frank and Martin Luther King were born in the same year?
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
And they both died.
It happens to us all.
Yep. All right, so I think we talked about the Xbox stuff and what we've been doing on the good screen long enough.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to mention?
Not that I can think of.
We don't have any comments. We've had like one
really?
comment on the Little Mermaid, but like I can't see it, so it's like a
Can't
ghost
see it.
comment. Yeah,
Oh,
that happened before too. So
okay.
yeah, if you're enjoying the podcast or anything, just comment on our YouTube videos or tweet at us or whatever. I still haven't really made the Discord public yet, but one day
I don't know why you haven't.
one day I'll do that. I haven't like put it on the link tree yet.
I thought you did.
No, I didn't.
Well, didn't do that.
It is set as a community server, but I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
not.
see why you're not. There's nothing to polish.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll do that soon. So let's go ahead and what time are we at? We're probably been talking for a while.
23 minutes.
23 minutes. Okay, not so bad then. I thought it'd be longer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll go ahead and start talking about the first movie that we watched.
Yeah, we have a really interesting combo this week.
We
for you
have a
guys.
really bizarre. Yeah.
The first one we watched for Pride.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. I guess the second one is also kind of about Pride.
In a way.
In a way. This one
But
more so.
in a way, but maybe not really. But also maybe in a way.
This first
This
it's,
one
no,
definitely.
it's definitely in a way. I'll get into it. This first one is maybe the saddest movie I've ever seen.
Really?
One of.
I thought you saw the boy in the striped pajamas. Pajamas.
Jammies.
I thought you saw that movie.
Yeah, I mean that's like
You
top
didn't think
tier.
that was sad?
Yeah. If we're
All
like
right.
on a tier list of sad movies.
Tears falling down your face.
Yeah. If we're on a tier list
Tier list.
of sad movies, this one is like definitely A tier.
A tier. Okay. Yeah, we're talking about Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm gonna put this in the thumbnail. I'm just gonna put Spiderverse and then like, sorry guys, you had to listen to gay cowboys for a little bit.
It's so good though.
All right, so I did the research on Brokeback Mountain.
You did. I'm very interested to hear what you have to say, given what I heard about your deep dive you decided to go into.
Oh yeah, with the Chinese word.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Foreshadowing, I guess. All right, Brokeback Mountain is a 2005. This is from like directly from Wikipedia, the first part at least.
Uh-huh.
It is a 2005 American neo-western romantic drama film directed by Ang Lee and produced by Diana Osana and James Schmaus.
Schmaus.
It was adapted from the 1997 short story of the same name by Anne Prelux.
Are you gonna read us the story?
Prelu. No.
Oh.
The screenplay was written by Osana and Larry McMurray. The film stars Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal, Anne Hathaway, and Michelle Williams,
I didn't
And-
know it was Heath Ledger.
and depicts the complex romantic relationship between two American cowboys, Enos Del Mar and Jack Twist, in the American West from 1963 to 1983. It was directed by Ang Lee.
You said that?
Okay, do you know what else he directed, Lauren? There's a Marvel movie.
Oh no.
He directed Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Don't know what that is.
Hulk.
Okay.
2003 Hulk.
The one with fucking what's his name?
Not Edward Norton.
Mark Ruffalo?
No, not the one before both of them.
Oh, Slumber.
And Life of Pi.
Oh, okay.
Or Life of P.
Okay.
P. It is starring Heath Ledger.
Yeah. I didn't know it was Heath Ledger until like halfway through the movie when he pointed it out to me.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes, I love him.
Anne Hathaway.
She do Hathaway.
You see your boobies in this movie.
You do.
Michelle Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And, fun fact, all 4 of them have been in superhero movies of some sort.
Heath Ledger was Joker.
He was the Joker, yep.
Who was Jake Gyllenhaal?
He was Mysterio in Spider-Man Far From Home.
He was. Who was Anne Hathaway?
Pussycat from Batman.
Doesn't count, but okay.
No, but not Pussycat.
Black Cat?
No,
Catwoman?
Catwoman, yeah. She's Pussycat. Michelle.
Who was the last one?
Michelle Williams. Oh, shit. I forgot. She's in... fuck.
I'll Google it.
I'm so close to remembering this. I know it was a DC movie. I think it might have been...
She was in...
Venom. Yeah, okay. God, why didn't I remember that? She was the love interest, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So they were all in... We got 2 DCs and 2 Marvelies.
All right.
Marvelies, like it's a language.
That's a pretty good split.
Yeah. It is based on the short story by Annie Prolux. Perlow. Originally, Gus Von... I'm assuming it's Gus Von Sant was set to direct the movie.
Don't know who that is.
He wanted to cast Matt Damon as Ennis and Joaquin Phoenix as Jack.
I can see Matt Damon for sure. But Jake Gyllenhaal, he's irreplaceable.
Weird thing. I had to double check because Jack, I was like, which one was Ennis? And that was Heath Ledger. Can you imagine if Ennis was Heath Ledger and Jack was Joaquin Phoenix? They were both the Joker.
Oh my god! That would have been so good.
That would have been so funny. Like, how did they both stumble across like the same role? Like,
what kind of typecasting
a decade between
is
each
this?
other? Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting.
A prerequisite to playing Joker is you had to have been in a Kid Cowboy movie.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
And he was considered.
He was considered for it. I'll get a little more info on the considerations later. Matt Damon went on to tell Gus, the original director, that he already did a gay movie, and right after that
movie?
I don't remember. And right after that, he did a cowboy movie, and I don't remember.
So
that
he
one
didn't want to
either.
be in a gay cowboy movie.
So he didn't want to be in a gay cowboy movie.
You know what? That's kind of valid.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he's all right. Like, he had a good excuse, whatever. Heath Ledger was almost not cast in the movie because they thought he wasn't masculine enough.
What?
Right?
They called him a pussy?
Yeah, but they asked a lot of guys to be in this movie.
Yeah, I'm sure they had a very long consideration list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Ryan Felipe were also considered, but they didn't say for which role.
I could see Leonardo as Ennis.
I could see him as Jack.
No,
he
already played a Jack.
He did play a Jack. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get more into the other castings later. Yeah, Heath Ledger, he almost wasn't considered because he was not masculine enough. And then Heath read the script. Okay. He read the script and he was like moved, and he was like, "Yeah, I want to be in it.
I want to be a
cowboy." And similarly, Jake Gyllenhaal was also moved as well.
Sure.
And they were friends.
That's great. And then they fucked each other in the ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were bros in real life, but not lovers. Ang Lee said that this is where I was kind of alluding to. He said that other actors were considered at first, but they were too afraid to take the roles. They were pussies.
Well, it was still a dangerous time to be gay.
Yeah, it was like 2004 when they started production.
It's only within the last not even 8 years it's been socially acceptable to be out as gay.
Yeah.
Which
Talk
is
about that
insane.
later. Wait, what? It sounded like I was coming out.
I was going to say, Russell, do you have something to
No,
say?
no, the big reveal.
Is this why you said earlier we're not married yet and we're getting our annulment set up?
We're not married, and I'm taking the Xbox because I'm actually gay.
Happy Pride. Okay. Did you take my pen off my journal?
No, I didn't. I don't know where that pen came from.
Take it back.
Okay. Hold on, I lost my spot. Sorry. Oops.
You were talking about how men were scared.
Yeah, they were scared. Heath and Jake did their research by reading other books about gay cowboys. So apparently that's a genre.
It is.
The movie was
it's also just a fact a lot of cowboys were gay.
Yeah. The movie was actually filmed in the Canadian Rockies in Alberta, Canada. It wasn't filmed on... That wasn't Brokeback Mountain either.
That wasn't Brokeback Mountain either?
That wasn't Brokeback Mountain.
We were debating doing this whole part in cowboy accents.
Since we like doubled up, I think we're not going to do it. But like, if we would have just did Brokeback Mountain like a week ago, 2 weeks ago almost,
we'd have done the whole thing.
We would have done the whole thing talking like this.
We've been talking like this the whole time, chopping it up.
Sitting on this uncomfortable chair. Yup. Yeah, this is the life.
Yeehaw.
Sweet potato pie and shut my mouth.
Howdy.
Can I get an amen, brother?
Amen, brother. Okay, that was not cowboy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, amen, brother.
Amen, brother.
Okay. Oh man. All right. All right. So yeah, that was not Brokeback Mountain, even in the background. That was Mount Lougheed in Elbow Falls.
Okay.
I don't know where that is.
Okay.
The production budget was $14 million.
Okay.
And the sheep that they had on the mountain were actually almost a big problem.
Did they get loose?
No.
Did they fuck up
the environmental department in Alberta, Canada, thought that they would disrupt the natural wildlife.
Well, I mean, were they there for long?
Yeah, they were. They were there all day.
Well,
the compromise was that they had to take them home every day. And a biologist had to watch. And make sure everything was good. So,
okay. A whole flock of
so many
sheep?
like days and nights that they had to film. I'm sure that they were out there for weeks doing that. And they had to pay the guy probably. Yeah.
I'd hope so.
Ledger and Gyllenhaal weren't concerned with the intimate scenes because they were friends already. Interesting. The first sex scene took 13 takes. I'm sorry, takes.
I was going to say tries is a very interesting term to use.
The movie's score was arranged by Gustavo Santaolalla.
Okay.
And the music was actually created before the filming even began. And it won like an award, I think. 2 awards for music, but I'll get to that later. Okay, box office stuff. It had a limited release in 2006, and it grossed $547,425.
It flopped?
No. That was a limited release. Overall, it grossed $83 million in North America.
Wait, so like when did it come out?
After that. I didn't write it down.
You didn't say that.
All right. Initially, I didn't write down the date. Assume it was some point in 2006, maybe early 2007.
Okay.
All right. Overall, it grossed $83 million in North America and $95 million internationally, so $178 million worldwide, and it was the highest grossing release ever for Focus Features.
Even to this day.
Maybe.
Wow.
This is Wikipedia we're talking about.
Okay.
International.
I don't want to know.
China didn't distribute the movie, but it was a popular bootleg release.
Oh.
Brokeback also became slang for gay in Chinese. That's what Donbei means, I think.
Okay.
It means you broke her back.
I also know, at least when I was growing up, because I never knew, so it came out when I was 7 years old, right? If it came out in 2006.
Yeah, it came out all right.
Shut up. So like growing up, I heard whispers about it from my family, just that it was about like gay people. I didn't know it was about cowboys. And they also always told me that that's where, like, I don't know if they were confused or if I confused it in my own child mind about the thing where it's like the banjo playing.
What?
On the river, and they're canoeing, and they're like, row faster. And it's like the banjo's like, and it's like mountain men that like rape or something.
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
Are you thinking of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Maybe.
The musical?
I don't know.
I don't think that's... No, I don't know what
You know
you're
how there's
thinking
like the shirts where it's like the guy with the canoe and it says like,
don't rape me?
look out for the banjo or something.
What?
I
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Was I living a fever dream? Wait, I have to look this up.
Look out for the banjo. He's gonna rape you.
Banjo. Canoe. Movie.
By
Deliverance.
the way, Deliverance?
Yes. When the men arrive, they are not welcomed by the backwoods locals who stalk the vacationers and savagely attack them in the woods.
So
Soon their canoe trip turns into a fight for survival.
What the fuck?
Oh, Burt Reynolds was in it.
Wow.
And Jon Voight. And Ned Beatty. He was in Harry Potter.
Okay.
Okay, I just recognized his face.
All right. Wow.
Anyways, so my family got those confused for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you started saying banjo on the river, I thought you were talking about Kermit the Frog.
No.
And I got excited.
I thought you were gonna say what was the one Muppet movie that we watched?
Emmett Otter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway,
Okay.
the Middle East didn't distribute it. Most of the Middle East didn't distribute it because it is a crime / very taboo to be gay in most regions in the Middle East. Lebanon was the only Arab country to screen it. But they censored it.
So they didn't...
They took out the gay parts.
So nothing happened.
Most of the gay, like probably the sex scene.
I was gonna say, so...
It was banned in the United Arab Emirates. It was banned in the United Arab Emirates. But apparently Blockbuster was in the UAE.
So
and
there?
they sold it there.
Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
So that was interesting. It was also one of the first movies to be released on DVD and digital download at the same time. Interesting.
History.
It had a great critical response of an average of 8.2 out of 10.
Okay.
It won Academy Awards for Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Original Score. It won 4 Golden Globes for Best Motion Picture, Drama, Best Director, Best Song, and Best Screenplay.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Best Motion Picture Drama, like for the drama category, not like Best Overall. Because that sounded like I said 5 things, and I said 4.
Okay.
Best Motion Picture - Drama.
Okay.
Okay, got that?
Okay.
All right. So I guess, yeah, and I have a big thing. It was like, Brokeback Mountain was lauded as a landmark in LGBT cinema and credited for influencing several films and television shows featuring LGBT themes and characters. In Out at the Movies, Stephen Paul Davies explains that as a result of the film's success, most major film studios have been clamoring to get behind new gay-themed projects. Thanks to Brokeback, film financiers... I'm sorry, I lost my place.
You're killing me here,
the way you're
reading this.
We'll continue to back scripts that don't simply rely on gay stereotypes, and that you will certainly be progress. What? Anyway, basically,
you should paraphrase what you read instead of copy and paste.
Yeah,
because the way you read
all
this really kills me.
the 1s and 2s of the Wikipedia really like destroy my reading comprehension and the blue text and stuff. It's hard to read. Okay, I can't read, Lauren.
That's what I'm learning.
Okay, I'm a good reader though. I read all of Romeo's lines for Romeo and Juliet.
I read Juliet.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Wow.
Maybe we should both kill ourselves.
God. You should kill yourself, and then I'll kill myself because you killed yourself because you thought I killed myself.
Okay, how tragic.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine if... Never mind.
Okay.
All right, so what did you think about the movie? Let's talk about what we want to talk about the movie. What do you think of the movie? You said it was one of the saddest movies you ever saw.
I thought it was really sad. I didn't know quite what it was about. I mean, I knew it was about gay men.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was about cowboys.
I knew it was about gay cowboys.
I didn't know the cowboy part. And just, it's very much a time capsule of LGBT history.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in like the 60s and 70s and 80s.
Yeah, and even up until the 80s, they really didn't, especially in the Midwest, they didn't treat, you had to be like very hush-hush.
Well, this mostly took place in the South, too.
Wyoming is not the South.
Texas.
What?
That's where Jack Twist lived, in Texas.
Oh, yeah, he lived in Texas.
He got fucking pulverized to death.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Jack fucking gets pulped.
Yeah, and it's really fucking sad.
Yeah, but like nobody really knows, but
yeah, I mean,
Ennis probably knows.
I think Ennis knows.
Yeah,
and it's just so heart-wrenching, and it's so sad.
Yeah, so I thought I knew that this was a movie about gay cowboys, but I thought it was like kind of like a will they won't they the whole movie. They bam right away, like 30 minutes in the movie, like. They're doing it.
Not even 30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, like in the opening act of the movie, like kind of ends with them becoming in love with each other.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of movie left. And you find out that they both get married and they both live like quote unquote normal lives, but they go on fishing trips. Mm-hmm. And like, it's just like kind of unfortunate because, you know, due to the times that they're in, they can't really be together. So... But of course,
that's a very big point in the movie because Jack just keeps saying like, "Let's run away together and live out in the mountains where no one will find us." And Ennis is like,
which they totally could do.
Honestly, yeah. And Ennis is like, "No, we can't do that because now we both started our normal lives."
Yeah, we can't do that because I knew these two old guys who got killed because they did that.
Yeah, and Ennis is like traumatized by that. And kind of keeps making up excuses.
He has a lot of problems communicating too, like to everybody in the movie.
Yes,
everyone.
And Jack just keeps being like, I can't take this any longer.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, I'm just going to have to stop so I can go be with someone that I can be with.
Yeah. Well, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We are, but this is the part that stuck out the most to me. So.
Oh, yeah.
So then the end is very, like, sad and melancholic because Jack Twist dies, and whether Ennis knows he was beaten to death because he was gay or not, he is now left, wishing that he had gone and rung off with Jack all along.
Yeah.
And it's really sad.
Yeah. So they both, and of course, like, since, like I mentioned, they both got married and, like, lived their nuclear, not really nuclear family lives, but, like, they both had kids. Mm-hmm. And even though Jack wanted to, like, run away, I thought it was interesting because he was the one who wanted to, like, skip town with Ennis and go live in the woods and be gay together.
Yeah.
But he was, like, a really good dad.
Yeah, he was a good dad.
He was a good dad, and he, like, wanted to be present for his family.
He also had
a bad
parents.
upbringing, and you kind of see that at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But, and Ennis was a pretty bad dad. He was, like, always drunk. He...
raising hands to his pregnant ex-wife.
Raised hands to his ex-wife, who, when they got divorced... still kept him around because she just felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But she knew like pretty early on that they were kissing.
Yeah, because he came up, it was the first fishing trip. She saw them macking out in the driveway.
Yeah, and she was like, whoa.
But she didn't leave him then because they had the kids. And it was like 1962.
Like, it was just what you did back then.
To get divorced.
Yeah, it was just like, it was taboo. And like, you just kept the marriage going even though it was bad.
Yeah.
Unless you were like everyone in my family.
Debatably, I don't think she was very happy in the first place.
No, she definitely wasn't.
So,
yeah.
Don't settle women.
So I thought that was an interesting parallel that Jack was like kind of like not like throwing his life away because he was longing to be with Ennis, but like, and then of course he was the one who wound up dying, which sucks because he had a son and everything too.
Yeah. And
I'm sure they had to tell his son and yeah, and then Ennis had daughters, and like
He had a good relationship with his oldest daughter.
Yeah, one of his daughters was like a close friend, close with not close friend, close with him, even like closer to the end of the movie. So like it was interesting to see that, and I think by then he was kind of like learning like to be more present and like do in her life and everything. But by then she was getting married at the end of the movie. So like, I mean, people change. He's still probably gay. People grow. What do you think about the part of the movie who when it was with what's his face, the guy from Stranger Things, David Harbour?
Yeah,
he was in the movie, and they were at like that dinner party, and he was talking to David Harbour's character, and they were talking about fishing trips.
Yeah,
it wasn't really explained in the movie, and I don't know if they showed him in like that flashback of him getting like pulped. But do you think that he actually wanted to go fishing with him, and like it turned out to be wrong, and like he told everybody he knew, and then they like beat him up? I feel like that's what happened.
Either that, or it's just his wife got sick and tired of it, because she kind of knew in the back of her mind what was happening.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just like the stuff between like, because Jack did not have a good relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
Like, they kept getting into fights, so maybe
but she liked that, I think.
She did think it was kind of funny.
Yeah, she liked that. She didn't like her dad.
But it was also, like, I don't know. I feel like it was either something along those lines happens, like you described, or she finally was at a point where she was like, okay, I can take care of the kid myself now. Not that she could in the first place, because her dad's super rich.
Yeah. Or maybe just the wrong person found out at the wrong time. Like,
something.
Yeah, it was really like open to. They didn't really say like how it built up, because the movie for the most part, like up until then, followed both of their lives equally, and then suddenly, and it just gets a postcard back in the mail that says deceased, and he's like, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else about the movie, Lauren?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah, it would have been a good Valentine's Day movie.
In a weird way, yeah.
I mean, all of our Valentine's Day movies
They're
are
pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would have been. Yeah, I'm. When I was growing up, I was in middle school when this came out, and I remember like whenever there were two dudes standing next to each other, people would just say Brokeback Mountain.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
like, this
you
movie,
did grow up in a mountain.
In a mountain school, yeah. But like this movie paved the way, sort of, but at the same time, it also like stupid teenagers like kind of created a new thing to say.
It was also just the culture back then.
Yeah, it
wasn't as open to gay people yet.
Yeah, they didn't realize that they could like make money.
This was it's not even that. This was like groundwork for being socially acceptable.
Yeah, that in the movie Milk.
Don't know what that is.
It's about Harvey Milk, who was like I think his name's Harvey Milk. He was a gay senator in San Francisco, I think.
Okay.
The guy who almost directed this movie directed that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so interesting. Yeah, so I like the movie. I would say it's good screen. It's good watching now. It's different, probably different watching it now than it was back then too. Like, just because like, okay,
the tone
every
has
other
changed. Like our society's tone has changed about it.
And every other movie is like, oh, there's a gay couple in it now or whatever, and that's fine. That's fine and everything. But like back then it was like, wow, this is like controversial. Yeah, he put his dick in his butt.
God.
All right. So would you say this is good screen, Lauren?
Yes, good screen, but sad screen.
Sad screen. Okay. I believe that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's talk about our second movie. So we're done talking about Brokeback Mountain.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and talk about our second movie of the day. Across the Spiderverse? Is it called Across the Spiderverse?
Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse.
Okay, and Lauren did the research for this.
I did.
Okay.
First, I'll read the Wikipedia description of it.
Okay.
After reuniting with Gwen Stacy, Brooklyn's full-time friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is
Whoa, you can't read either.
I wanted to say catapulated.
Patapulated.
Catapulted across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. However, when the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles finds himself pitted against the other spiders. He must soon define what it means to be a hero so he can save the people he loves most.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just kind of go in the order of what I found. It's not in too much of a specific order.
Okay.
So, do you want to guess the budget for this movie? It's not as big as I thought it was going to be.
100 million.
Yes.
Yes?
Do you want to guess what it's gotten in box office so far?
500 million.
411.
It'll hit 500.
Yeah. So this movie was written by, so it's a pair. One is a pair of writers, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. They worked together.
They did Clone High.
They did do Clone High. They also did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah.
21 Jump Street.
Can I interject here?
They also did the Lego Movie. Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Okay.
So in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, there's the black cop and the little boy.
Wait, is that why I'm gonna tell people that this was Miles Morales and his dad?
I feel like it might be like unintentional but intentional, maybe, but like maybe not.
It's funny.
It's different names, but people were mentioning that, and they directed the same movie. Anyway, go on.
Another writer was also involved named David Callahan. Do you want to know what he wrote that we've talked about?
That we've talked about? And he wrote it.
He wrote the film adaptation for it.
Scott Pilgrim?
No.
What?
Doom.
Oh, Doom, the movie.
The movie.
Okay.
This movie it had 3 directors. There was Joaquim Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin Thompson.
Wow.
The most renowned is Dos Santos. He directed the first Spiderverse movie.
Yeah.
He also directed many of the episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh.
And Korra.
Okay.
The new Voltron series. And Justice League Unlimited.
Really?
So he does like a lot of superhero
stuff.
Young adult teenage focused stuff.
Okay, cool.
So this movie is a 2-parter.
We did not know that.
We didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it is a 2-parter. This was announced a long time ago, actually.
It was?
Yes. Pretty much when they announced that this movie was coming out, they said it's going to be a 2-parter. So the next one's already in development, and it's going to be coming out in March of next year.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, not even a year later, it's going to be coming out. The next one is going to be called Spider-Man Beyond the Spiderverse, and it's like part 2 of this.
Yeah.
There's also going to be a spin-off about Gwen eventually as well, like a movie about her.
Like a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This movie is the longest animated film produced by an American studio.
Ever?
At 140 minutes.
And it's only technically a part 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just wait till part 2.
Holy moly.
So I'm going to skip around my notes a little bit. On that note, this movie had the largest crew of any animated film ever.
I bet.
Can you guess how many people worked on it?
500 people.
More.
700 people.
More.
1,000 people?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Just around 1,000 people worked on this movie.
And we almost stayed for the credits.
There was no post-credits.
Yeah.
We Googled it. We always Google it when we go to these freaking movies. I shouldn't say that I love this movie very much.
You never Google it.
When we get to the credits,
yeah,
I usually Google it.
Oh, and then we see it, and it's like a Yoshi egg, and
Okay, so continuing.
Wario.
That would have been cool. So there were 240 different spider people in this movie.
Okay, I believe that.
Okay. I'm gonna keep hopping around. Going back to further up, Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah.
Was voiced by Oscar Isaac.
Yes.
Jason Schwartzman of Scott Pilgrim fame.
Yeah.
He played Gideon.
Okay.
Voiced Spot.
Okay.
Daniel Kaluuya Is that how you pronounce his last name?
I think so, yeah.
Kaluuya, from Nope and Get Out, voiced Hobby.
Okay.
And Donald Glover was in it.
Yeah, he was.
Which was amazing. I loved the live action parts.
They were really funny to see.
Yeah, so I guess it means... it makes sense because all of the Spider-Men come from comics.
Different universes.
Yeah, so but
there
most
were a
are
few of them
animated.
that were from like there was the animated TV show one that had like a line.
Yeah.
One of the I think like the Disney XD Spider-Man show, I think it was.
There was the Lego. Wait, I have something to say about the Lego one.
Yeah, I think I know what you're going to say.
So the Lego sequence was real.
Yeah.
Those were like real Legos. It was done by a 14-year-old Canadian animator named Preston Mutonga. And it was added into the movie like later on in the project.
Right. You could tell it was kind of like it didn't really fit.
Well, it
fit, but it like didn't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to downplay it or anything, but
yeah. But the filmmakers were impressed by Preston's like fan-made Lego films that he put on like YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
So they tracked him down and recruited him and were like...
Do you know why exactly they tracked him down? He did the whole trailer of this movie in Lego.
Really?
That's why they were impressed.
Oh.
Yeah. They were probably saw his channel and they were like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah. But that Spider-Man is meant to represent the Spider-Man that's in the Lego Avengers video game.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay. Continuing to hop around. The part where there's like the convenience store owner, the Chinese woman, she's from Venom.
Right.
I didn't remember that until I was reading this. I was like, what?
I remembered
which one is
that.
she from?
Yeah, that was funny.
This movie was originally slated to come out in April 2022, but COVID.
Of course.
COVID got it. Each universe was kind of more obvious in some more than others. But Gwen's universe was meant to be like an impressionist watercolor painting style. Because it mostly looked really similar to Miles's. But it had this like cool water style about it.
It had the an Adobe filter over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was all meant to reflect her moods. They said it was like a 3D mood ring.
Yeah, because like when her mood changed, like the color would change too.
Mm-hmm. And the
really
inspiration
cool.
from that came from in the original Cinderella movie when like the stepsisters like tear her like pink dress apart that she originally wanted to wear to the ball.
Yeah.
It was inspired based on like that, how that
Cinderella. Wait, what? That's not
Cinderella.
Cinderella, Thumbelina.
What?
You never saw Thumbelina?
I did. I haven't seen it since I was like 7.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. I definitely had a crush on that little twink fairy prince. Okay, continuing. So Spot's portals, and like his spots on him, were kind of meant to look like ink that had been spilled on a
paper.
drawing.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier about this movie being banned in the Middle East. It was released everywhere. It hasn't been censored anywhere, but it was pulled from being released in the MENA region, which is Middle East and North Africa, because of the transgender symbolism in this film. So that confirms that Gwen is trans, because that's a conversation we were having.
No, there's like a flag.
Yeah, in Gwen's room.
I don't think she's trans.
Her colors are literally the trans flag. And her dad's cop jacket has a little trans flag pin on it.
All right, whatever.
Which a dad would only do if they had a trans kid.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Let me see. The animations for Spider-Punk's whole thing alone, took 3 years to do.
Wow.
And then the funnest fact of all that I found at the very end of the Wikipedia section is So there is a spin-off manga series coming out soon.
Okay.
Called Spider-Man Octopus Girl. It's gonna start serialization in Shonen Jump on June 20th.
Okay.
Do you want to guess what the plot is?
Tentacles?
No.
What?
The plot is that Dr. Octopus is isekai'd into a Japanese middle school girl's body.
Oh my god.
So it's being written by Hideyuki Furuhashi, who writes My Hero Academia, and illustrated by he goes by Better Court, who is the main illustrator for My Hero Academia. Do you want to see the promotional image that's out?
Oh my god, please turn your whole laptop around. Oh my god.
Yeah. So we're buying all of these when they
Holy
get printed.
shit, yes. That's going to be so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I can't wait.
All right, wow. I did not know that. I mean,
yeah, it was shoehorned at the very end. It's like not even a paragraph.
I was impressed that I went this whole time, like the first one came out in like 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I went this whole time. I've only saw the trailer that I had to see in like a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And like I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost completely forgot the plot of the original one.
I totally forgot the plot of the
Yeah,
original
I remember
one.
there was a collider at the end, and I was like, okay, I got it. It's up here.
Yeah.
I
remember how it ended, which I figured is how this one was going to start.
Yeah.
And it did.
Kinda, yeah. Wow, yeah, that was an interesting fun. I guess we don't have box office figures yet.
I already told you, 400 million.
Oh, you did? Okay, that's
Yeah.
right. Woo!
Yep.
All right, Lauren, so what did you think about this movie?
Oh my god.
This movie was really good.
It was so good. I was kind of wondering if everyone was joking about how good it was, but
Right?
no. It just really was that good. I wanted it to keep going.
I knew it was getting long. And again, weren't really following this movie, so like when it said to be continued, I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah.
I thought it was like the last part of the movie, and
so because they decided to do 2 parts really early on into developing this movie because they just had so much they wanted to cram in. They were like, no, we're gonna do 2 parts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So this is a sequel, but it's 2 parts. So this one and the next one technically both count as the sequel to the first one.
Okay.
So they're still... It's probably likely they'll eventually do
a fourth.
A third one.
Or a third.
Technically. And then they're also doing the Gwen spinoff. So that could also be considered the third one, too.
They'll do it until people get tired of it.
I won't get tired of it if it keeps up like this.
Yeah, insane.
It was so jam-packed.
Remember when we were watching John Wick 4?
Yeah.
And I was like, there's that one part where like he's on top of the roof in Japan, and like it's just like a wide shot of him. And I was like, that'd be a good wallpaper.
Yeah.
There were every other still frame in this movie could be a good wallpaper. Like it was insane.
You remember the part where they were sitting like on the underneath part?
Yeah.
That almost made me dizzy.
Really?
That messed with my head.
Oh, I thought it was cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah, so like it's like a visual thing. Like I really like this is another thing. Like I really want to get an ultra wide monitor just to like watch this at home. And,
Oh my god.
Yeah. And,
yeah. I wish we could have seen this in IMAX.
Right.
Our theater wasn't showing this in IMAX, but it is playing in IMAX.
Oh my god.
But our theater doesn't have it, and it makes me upset. This
yeah,
one looks
especially
so good in IMAX.
Especially because like the sound, like particularly the sound in this movie theater we went to, everything was like flat.
Yeah.
And I was like, ah, man, like
We've
the
been
beginning.
to too many IMAX movies. We know how good it is.
Yeah, it starts with like a drum like solo thing basically, and it all just sounded like normal. And I was like, oh man, in IMAX this probably would have sounded really cool.
I know. I mean, if anything, we could just go see it again in a theater that's showing it in IMAX in like Reading or Lancaster.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I'd love to see this again.
But yeah, so this movie, like the base, and we're gonna spoil a lot of stuff probably.
Oh, I mean, when don't we?
So
the plot section for this is like fucking 10,000
It's a lot. There's a lot going on, and
yes.
And I've gone on record saying I'm kind of like tired of like multiverse and like time travel stories and things like that. Like I feel like a lot of there's just way too much of like that around right now. Like it's a really popular thing because we haven't quite because of course like we haven't gotten there at all for either of them. So like it's still pretty popular for science fiction. and then one day we'll achieve it, and like all these movies will be like hard to watch because we know how it works.
I mean, it kind of always has been popular. Wasn't back when like the original Star Trek was coming out? Wasn't there a series of episodes about meeting like an alternate Kirk?
Yeah,
or something.
Like it's
Yeah.
always been it's always been a
since,
science
like,
fiction
the inception
thing.
of science
But like
fiction.
it's super popular now. But like the last movie that I kind of liked it in was the Avengers Endgame. I thought that was interesting, at least for time travel.
And then they did way too much of it.
And then they just like went way off the rails with
Yeah.
like every little thing. And then, but this is good. I thought this was interesting. I also really don't like reference stuff, but like in this movie, it kind of has to be like, oh look there, and stuff like that. Like
There's 1,000 things hidden in every corner.
1,000 things you didn't see when you watched Spider-Man.
God, that movie, it would be like an hour-long video.
Yeah, that probably is out there.
Well, because I'm already seeing stuff on Twitter about like the little like screen caps where it's like all the spider people running around, like which like they're identifying all the spider people.
Isn't that nuts?
Because the Lego Spider-Man was in a lot of those shots, but he's just so tiny.
He's so
see
small.
him.
Oh, he's Lego sized?
Yes, he's Lego sized. That's why, because so many people are making a joke out of shipping him and Miguel. So like, there's so many ones where it's like him laying on the pillow next to like Miguel,
like big,
like after coitus.
They made him beefier. He was in the post-credit scene in the first one.
Yeah.
And he wasn't as thick.
No, they
made him thicker.
revved it up.
No, but like I liked how they treated it. Like the original Spiderverse comic wasn't really like that good. It was like a lot of different, like there was Spider-Punk and there was Spider-Gwen was introduced there. The new character, for some reason Silk isn't in this movie, but like I feel like she's kind of like a Miles Morales, sort of like wasn't supposed to happen. I feel like she might show up in a later movie.
Maybe.
But I liked Silk at the time. I don't know what ever happened with the character. And there were all sorts of other spider people as well. Yes.
No, I just wanted to raise my hand so I wouldn't forget what I was talking about.
Okay.
Did you have anything else on that point?
No, but I liked how they treated, like, everyone kind of got their turn. There were probably some original. I can't imagine the cowboy, the web slinger, was
Oh my god.
from another comic, but maybe he was.
I want to read it.
Yeah, I would want to read it too.
Did you see the meme on Twitter where it's like, PETA, the horse is here?
They treated it really well. The movie takes place a year after the first one, not like right away after, like a year after. And the whole like spider society or whatever is an interesting concept because basically Miles existing is like the big fuck up in all their lives. Which
I have something to say about. So I was reading someone's thread on Twitter about how during the movie, until like the very end happened, when he goes to the universe that his spider came from, someone was talking about how they thought that it would have been the universe that like we as viewers reside in, because we don't have a Spider-Man, we don't have superheroes.
Oh, what? So like he would have been in real life?
Yeah. I don't know. Something like that. But then it ended up being that in this universe that the spider that bit him originally came from, that was supposed to bite someone there.
Somebody there, yeah.
Like, assumably the version of Miles that's there. But the version of Miles that's there is the Prowler who works with his uncle who's still alive and still evil, and his dad is dead. Yeah. And so then he says something about how his dad is alive. And so the Prowler Miles is
Miles Tails Prowler.
Yeah.
that's Tails' full name.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
How he's like, well, I'm gonna fuck you up, and then I'm gonna go see your dad or something.
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna go figure this out.
I get the feeling that. Can I make a prediction about the next one?
Okay, go for it.
I feel like alternate version Miles is gonna kill his dad.
Oh,
that's gonna be how his dad dies.
Oh God, strange. Yeah, there's a lot of like, you ruined my life, so I'm gonna ruin yours energy in this movie. Like that's what the Spot. I think the Spot is gonna try something, or they're gonna team up.
Well, I also saw something about predicting about how Miguel is gonna be in the wrong about all of this.
Yeah,
like how he was wrong about all of.
He wasn't really wrong about
happening.
anything else.
Yeah, but he's gonna be wrong about Miles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But he's also a vampire.
Yeah, I want him to bite.
That actually tracks with the original Spiderverse comic because the villains are vampire people who like feed off of spider people.
Yeah, and I tried looking up his lore from his comic series, and it's basically
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's like he existed in the world of the original Spider-Man.
Right.
And so he grew up after like the era of heroes. Like he lives in the year 2099.
Like the far future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty far away.
I guess so. I'll be 100.
We won't be around to see it probably.
I might. I'll be
Maybe.
100.
If you'll be 100.
I don't know if I'll live that far. What was I saying? So he is like a scientist, and he's studying Spider-Man and how to get Spider-Man powers.
Yeah.
And during some experiment, he like accidentally like zaps himself with spider DNA, and now his DNA is half spider DNA, half human DNA, but
he never gets bit.
also he's a vampire.
Isn't that nuts?
Like, he was a bad guy originally.
Yeah.
Basically, who was a vampire, and then he did that also.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
Comic books.
Very convoluted.
Let's talk about my only bad mark on this movie.
You have a gripe?
I have a gripe.
What is it?
They didn't respect Ben Reilly.
Who?
The Spider-Man with like the jean jacket. I think his name's Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. They like made him seem like he was like,
oh, the one that was like a himbo.
It was like a himbo, and he was like super like emotional and stuff. Because I actually liked that era of Spider-Man.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
I liked that era of Spider-Man. I'm not like super like read up on it, but like I like his design first of all.
I do too.
But like
I'm looking at it now. Yeah.
People don't like him because he was like he's a clone of Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And like people don't like him because they like were gonna like push the mantle of Spider-Man onto him after Peter quit or wanted to be a dad or something back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I
did see because I was looking into Mayday's lore. He's like involved with their lore.
Yeah, like
but I don't know if he's from the same universe as that Peter Parker. I don't think he is.
Like regular Peter Parker?
The Peter Parker that had Mayday in the movie.
Oh no.
Like when Mayday is grown up, she's friends with Ben Reilly.
No.
And the Green Goblin's descendant, whose name is Normie.
Yeah, I don't think the regular quote unquote regular Peter Parker with Mayday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's supposed to be the comic book canon,
like the catch-all be-all Spider-Man.
No,
yeah.
I thought that's what Miles's Peter was supposed to be, because what happened in the comics of Ultimate Spider-Man is Spider-Man in that series died, and then Miles Morales took over like afterwards, but they were both alive at the same time for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I don't know. It's weird. There's so many different like, and it's only gonna get worse because this is so popular. But like, the thing that I don't understand about Marvel is how often they reboot comic series as like number ones.
The time.
And like they'll do, since this was popular, like they're gonna do like a new Spider-Punk series with a new number one. Even though they already had one recently, and they're gonna do a new 2099 one, and it's not gonna have anything to do with this movie.
Yeah.
And they're gonna try and tie it into the Marvel canon because everything's the same universe in Marvel comics now. So like,
I want a Lego Spider-Man comic series.
It probably exists.
Fuck. I'd collect that.
But like, and it's weird because I saw something online and was like, oh wow, this is what happens when you give people like 5 years to write a good Spider-Man story, and And people are like, well, yeah, but like you can't really have that time when you are writing the comic because it has to come out every month.
Yeah.
Like,
And I mean, a lot of it is like plotted out in advance.
yeah, there's a lot less people involved.
Yeah.
Like, there's 1,000 people working on this movie.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that there are at least half, maybe not half of them, but like hundreds of people had like a decision in what went where?
Mm-hmm.
And like who was in or what the plot was, probably.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds like a corporate micromanaging movie from hell, but I'm sure it was really fun to work on.
Probably. I think a lot of it was like art direction stuff is where a lot of the people came in.
Yeah.
And animators.
Yeah, insane. And it was like computer animated. It wasn't hand drawn. Most of it wasn't hand drawn.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting kind of, that new like super stylized kind of computer animation that like Puss in Boots had and
So good.
the bad guys had, and they got it like Spiderverse, the first one.
They
kind of like invented
landmarked
that.
it, yeah.
I did like how like in the first Spiderverse movie, to what I remember, like the frame ratey thing, like it was more like stop motion.
Yeah, it was a lot more stylized in that one than it was this one. I remember a lot of people complaining about it.
Yeah, it hurt my eyes a little bit at times.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very interesting take.
Yeah, it hurt my eyes a little bit, but this one was a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't as emphasized. It still happened, but it wasn't as emphasized.
Yeah, I liked kind of like where they went with the story too, with like how I didn't remember that his spider was from a different universe, or I don't know if that was a part of the original movie.
I don't know if it was.
Yeah, so.
Or maybe it was.
But like when they mentioned that, I was like, when he was starting to go home, I'm like, oh, he probably won't go back to the same place. But I didn't say anything.
Oh.
Because I was like, oh yeah, his spider's there. It goes off of his spider power.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
They got me.
They got you.
Ah.
And I thought it was interesting how all of them are Peters, and then there's Gwen, but he's the only one named Miles.
Well, because remember there's the Indian one? His name isn't Peter.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. But they're all like their version of Peter. He's Miles.
Yeah. And well, then there's all the
because he wasn't supposed to get
Jane
the
ones. There's all the oh, do you want to know something funny? Because there's the comic series about Spider-Ham coming out.
Okay.
So there's a Miles Morales in his universe, and his name is Meows.
Meows?
Meowrales or something
Meowrales?
like that.
Wow.
Yeah, his name is Meows, and Twitter's blowing up about it right now because he's really cute.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, you're probably right. That's why he's the first Miles.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting because, and he kind of like broke the cycle of Spider-Man, and like they're probably all like super jealous of him, and like they all want to make sure that he has his trauma moment, basically.
I was gonna say, remember when we thought the plot of the movie was that they were mad that he
wanted
had
to kill
both
him because he had both parents? Yeah. I was like, I don't think
and
that.
the whole thing is actually they're trying to stop him.
They're trying to kill his parents?
No, they're trying to keep his canon event happening.
Oh, yeah. Well, they kind of are.
Because he already stopped a canon event, and it ruined a universe.
Apparently. And they had to fix it. They just fixed it, though.
I don't know if they ended up fixing it or not. Because remember, they were still showing clips where it's like they were still there trying to fix it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he saved someone, and they weren't supposed to be saved, because every Spider-Man has to have a Captain Stacy equivalent die.
Yeah, like an Uncle Ben or a Captain Stacy.
Or a Gwen Stacy die.
Or a Gwen Stacy.
And a Gwen Stacy die.
Or if, yeah.
Yeah.
Some combination of that.
Yeah. So, that was interesting. I like how like they kind of like play on like the fact that Spider-Man was rebooted so many times that everyone kind of knows these pivotal moments in Spider-Man's story because they've seen like Joe Schmo on the street has seen Uncle Ben die at least like 2 or 3 times at this point.
Yeah.
So like they're like, oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, that cool. Not cool, but whatever.
Interesting, sure.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I'm running out of steam, so we might need to wrap up.
It's way past your bedtime.
Yeah, it's way past our bedtime. My bedtime. What's the timer at?
Hour 20.
Yikes. All right. Do you want to wrap up with Spider-Man? Do you have anything more to say?
No, it was really good.
It was really good.
I recommend you see it. I give it a good screen.
It might be one. It would be one that I'd be willing to go see again if anyone asked me to. But who knows? That's probably not going to happen.
Especially in IMAX.
especially in IMAX. I don't think anyone I know hasn't seen this movie yet, but I would go see it again.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we had 2 good screens this week.
Yeah.
Pretty bumping, booping, bopping podcast. So Lauren, let's move away from the screen. Let's take a break. What is your screenless shout out?
My screenless shout out is what we did this previous Saturday that we've kind of foreshadowed about.
Yeah.
We went to an event in Newark where we got to meet Rilakkuma.
We did.
Yeah, and then after that we went to Edgewater, and it was also really cool.
Yeah, that was all right.
It was all of it was exhausting.
Yeah, it was a long trip.
It was a long trip, a lot of driving.
Yep.
A lot of waiting.
A little bit of walking.
A bit of walking.
Yeah.
And I was doing it on not as much sleep as I normally get.
Yeah, you were a little tired in the beginning.
I was pretty tired all day.
All day, okay.
I tried tapioca boba.
Yeah, you did. Regular boba.
I really liked it.
Yeah, it was a good little trip.
Yeah. Lots of fun. We saw the New York skyline, and we debated if we want to go spend a day in New York sometime this summer.
Probably not going to do that, though.
No, I think we're going to go to Pittsburgh.
We might go to Pittsburgh. Who knows?
With Will
Whatever.
Party.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah. Is that your screenless shout out as well?
It kind of, yeah, I guess so. I had a good time too.
Yeah.
I got some things that I actually wound up having. So at the bookstore, I got the 3 volumes. Yeah. And I forgot I already had them, and I was like, well, I'm not going to just drive 3 hours away to. Yeah. So, oops. Yeah, I had a good time there. It was an interesting event because like we didn't really know what to expect when we went there. We thought we would go, line up, and then that'd be it. But they gave us like a time, so we had to we were like forced
like
to
a line ticket.
Yeah, we were forced to like wait for 4 hours.
Just about.
And it was funny because like Lauren had never really been to New Jersey, like boots on the ground.
No, that was my first time. I had flown into Newark Airport before.
Yeah, which is really close by to where we were.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, New Jersey's just like highways and parking lots and malls, and we wound up being in a giant parking lot at a big mall. So it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
When that happened, it wasn't a huge mall, but like there were a lot of people in there. A lot of people from the airport with like suitcases in the mall. It was kind of funny. So naturally, of course, like we're going to be drawn to a mall anyway. I didn't even know like the place. I thought we were going to like downtown or something like that.
I thought so too.
I don't even know if there is a downtown in Newark. I feel like it's just like an industrial town.
I liked Edgewater.
Edgewater was nice.
Edgewater's not Newark.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was really funny. My other screenless shout out is, and I'm doing this now because I'll probably forget. Today's the 16th. Oh yeah, it'll be next week.
Today's the 15th.
Today's the 15th.
Oh, today's 3 years since I moved here.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
Hasn't been quiet since.
Hasn't been clean in the apartment since.
Yeah, haven't had space since.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
Is the return.
Of what?
Of one of Eastern Pennsylvania's greatest summer activities. Moments.
Is it Hoagie Fest?
It is Hoagie Fest. Hoagie Fest is back at Wawa on the 19th. I believe the 19th. Oh, shit. The original, Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advance is coming on the Nintendo Switch Online soon.
Great.
Sorry, I saw that by accident. Hoagie Fest is back. Hoagies will be the price they were a couple years ago again.
Oh, so they'll be cheap?
They'll be a little cheaper.
Holy shit. Just leave them that way.
I think, honestly, maybe it started today. I'm not sure. But yeah, so huge deal. Big moment of the summer. Go listen to the Hoagie Fest playlist on Spotify to get pumped up.
Is there 15 cents off gas?
No.
Fuck.
That's not Hoagie related.
I needed to come back.
So, yeah, naturally I had to plug Wawa when they're doing something crazy like that.
Yeah, we're just waiting for our sponsorship.
Sorry, our friend Autumn, who has to work through Hoagie Fest.
God bless you. You are an angel. You are
the Hoagie Angel.
You are a true American.
Hoagie Angel.
She deserves veteran status after this.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Put that hoagie pin on your lapel.
Yep.
And salute the Wawa flag.
Wear it with pride.
Goose.
Goose.
Yeah.
Is that where the name Wawa comes from? Because that's the sound that geese make?
I think so.
They go, wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
I don't know. My Mimi always makes this awful sound. She's like, Wawa.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, I
don't do it justice.
Your Mimi is actually Marge from The Simpsons. Yeah. Yeah, so that might be it. That might be all I have to say.
Yeah.
Ever.
Me too.
Zip.
Oh, bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, so that's it for this week. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a pain in the ass to edit. I might just put this up like completely like unabridged.
That's why I told you. Are you sure you don't do 2 separate episodes?
I don't know. I've been enjoying kind of like cutting out the little parts, but like I feel like this one I might just like I might do the declicker and just like let it loose. Even the part where you got up and got a drink. Yeah. So I was so glad that you didn't like cough or sneeze or make any other noises during it, because I would have had to like find it.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah, don't do it.
I'm locked and loaded.
So yeah, that's it for the podcast this week.
Yeah.
Again, thank you all for listening or watching.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on Twitter at Good Screen Pod. You can find us on YouTube, where it's also at Good Screen Pod on YouTube, I think now.
Okay.
Leave a comment and we'll definitely talk about it on the podcast next week.
Yep.
You can email us at goodscreenpod@gmail.com.
Yep.
I haven't checked in a while, but I haven't seen anything. I have notifications on for that, so.
Oh, okay.
No one's emailed us recently. We did get a few suggestions over the course of the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm completely missing talking about some stuff.
I know Skyward wanted us to see this.
Yeah, so we checked that box.
Tick.
And let me see. There's got to be one more thing. Do we have anything crazy to do? No, I don't have anything else to say. I think that's going to be it for the podcast this week.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's anything on Discord, I'll write it down and talk about it next time.
Okay. Also, we have a Discord, but I guess Russell isn't making it public. When it does, he's going to add it to our link tree.
Yeah, and you can find that on Instagram and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.